Welcome. Thank you for joining our virtual town hall. We proudly serve the Huntington Park, Walnut Park, and City of Vernon community of schools. My name is Yvette Fraga, and I'm your multi-tiered system of support advisor. Thank you for joining our virtual town hall. I will be your moderator for the afternoon. Excuse me. Before we begin with our panel, I'd like to take care of some housekeeping. Para nuestros participantes que desean traducción, me gustaría presentarles a nuestro intérprete Grisel Figueroa. En la parte inferior de la pantalla, busque y presione el icono del mundo o globo y seleccione español. If you will be participating in English, we ask that you please click on the globe icon and select English. This afternoon, our panelists will discuss next year's return to in-person instruction. I would like to invite all participants to submit questions about the presentation by clicking the question icon and typing your questions. Our panelists will do their best to respond. At this point, I'd like to introduce our proud leader, our Community of Schools Administrator, Gerardo Loera.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful day here in the city of Huntington Park, Walnut Park, and Vernon. My name is Gerardo Loera. I'm the Community of School Administrator, proudly serving the 24 schools here in our community of schools located in the city of Huntington Park, Walnut Park, and our one school up over in Vernon. You see before you a list of our team here on the community of schools. We're located on the Miles Avenue Elementary campus. And we are responsible for supporting and supervising the 24 schools, including 11 elementaries and 9 secondary schools, middle and high school, as well as a continuation school. So before you today, we will have Enrique Soberanes, our operations coordinator, and Nora Gonzalez, our director, and of course, Yvette Fraga, our MTSS advisor. And we also have the honor of having our district interpreters helping us out today for those of you who are Spanish only. So today's agenda is going to be very short, but very, very big in terms of what we are sharing out. You know, this last 14 months, as you are all very well aware, we've had some tremendous challenges. And as a school district, I'm very proud of a system that has taking the best foot forward and providing the best quality of education in a time when nobody could have imagined just a year and a half ago. And so, you know, here in the beginning of April, we started opening up all of our schools. All of our schools are physically open. We have thousands of students that are back in school in person, but we also know that we have the majority of our kids that are still learning in distance learning. And so what we're here to talk to you about is what the school district is going to look like for you, for our students, and for our parents, and for basically everybody in our school system once we reopen schools here in August. So we will share with you some of the additional resources that are being invested in our school system to support your children and to support our teachers in that process. At the conclusion of our presentation with you, which will be actually fairly short today, we will provide an opportunity for you to ask questions like Ms. Fraga mentioned, and we look forward to hearing from you. So we are live on Facebook today as well. So if you're joining us on Facebook, please feel free to ask any questions in the comments on Facebook, and Yvette Fraga will be monitoring that. If you're seeing this video after the recording and after we've been live, please go ahead and continue to post your questions on the Facebook comments. We will respond to them as soon as we possibly can. So first and foremost, the big announcement that we're really reiterating after our superintendent has began to message this out throughout the school district is that when we return to school in the fall in August, we will have full in-person instruction. That means that all students will be expected to return back to in-person school. So we will no longer be offering a virtual learning experience on a school-by-school basis like we are right now. Thankfully, because of the heroic efforts that have taken place throughout the country in terms of reducing the spread of the COVID-19 virus through extensive testing, as well as the vaccinations that many of our students and families have already taken advantage of. We feel we are in a position now to return to school in quote unquote a regular in-person instruction. So, so when we return, we will return to offer full day in-person instructional programming to all students 5 days a week on all of our campuses. As a school district, we will continue to maintain the highest standards of safety like we have been doing to date. As an LA Unified School System, our superintendent has really reiterated that we return to school the safest way possible. And we've been able to do so by putting in some of the standards that are the highest in the country in terms of COVID testing, as well as many other safety measures that are taking place. So for early ed and early education and elementary school students will be on campus 5 days a week for a full day. No longer are we doing sort of the morning and the afternoon sessions like we're doing now. Beyond the Bell, programs will provide after-school programming from the end of the school day all the way to 6 p.m. So that will be in place for all of our students for elementary and early ed who wish to take advantage of those services. In middle and high school, students will be on campus also 5 days a week for a full schedule of in-person instruction. As many of you know, right now, students are rotating on schedule and they're still Zooming with their teachers this spring. When we return in the fall, it will be 100% in person, the way we were before COVID-19 started. Additionally, the Beyond the Bell programs will provide after-school programming from the end of the school day to 6 p.m. as well, just like on the elementary schools. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Mr. Soberanes, who will continue sharing our information.
Good afternoon, parents. Thank you for joining us this afternoon as we share some really important updates as they relate to our official return this coming fall. Next slide, please. I want to assure you that the Los Angeles Unified School District has in place the highest set of safety standards of any school district in the nation, as our Community of Schools Administrator, Mr. Loera, mentioned earlier. All schools have air filtration systems that have been upgraded in every school, and the air is filtered through an equivalent of an N95 mask. Schools also have adequate supplies of masks and personal protective equipment. Custodial staff has been increased to keep schools clean and safe, and all students and staff on campus are tested regularly for COVID-19. Our schools our district has also initiated the provision of vaccinations for school-age staff. For school staff, age-eligible students and community members. New slide, please. The Los Angeles Unified School District will continue to meet and exceed the standards of all state and local health guidelines, and will continue to maintain the highest standards of safety of any school district in our nation. LAUSD will also continue to operate under guidelines from the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, as well as those established by state and local health authorities.
Yeah, I meant the town hall. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay.
All students and staff on campus will continue to be tested regularly for COVID-19. Part of the safety measures is continuing to use the daily pass to complete daily health screenings. Again, required COVID testing for all students and staff, daily health screening. Every school and every building in our district will continue to use implement the daily health screening procedures. daily health checks via the daily pass, or if you show up in person and you don't have you didn't make I mean, if you didn't obtain a daily pass through your electronic device, when you present yourself to any district building, you will be screened. There will be temperature checks, and once you are allowed to enter the school, face masks will continue to be required uh, by staff, by visitors, by students, and anyone present at the school site. Hand washing will continue to be encouraged to ensure that we're not transmitting any germs from one individual to another. And social distancing, as we know it, will continue. However, as it was mentioned earlier, we're going to be going from 6 feet to 3 feet of social distancing per our health experts that from whom we take guidance. And of course, the COVID compliant task force will continue to be available to support our schools in mitigating any exposures or answering any questions that have to do with health and safety or preserving health and safety in each and all of our schools. And at this point, I'd like to now pass over our platform to our wonderful director, Ms. Nora Gonzalez, who will speak a little more about our return this coming fall.
Thank you very much, Mr. Soberanes. Yvette, if you can please go to slide 9.
Gerardo is sharing the screen.
That one is good. Thank you very much. So again, we look forward to August 16th. That's a new beginning. So the best place for our students to learn is in the classroom and at school. So we will continue to make sure that the classrooms are safe as possible. So our schools are ready to welcome back our students on campus with additional supports and programming to better serve our students. Some of the additional supports, we have Primary Promise. There will be additional reading and math teachers in the elementary schools. For the secondary, we will also have additional teachers for more individualized instruction. In addition, for all K-12, additional mental health services for students and direct services for students with learning differences and disabilities. We will also be increasing our custodial staff to ensure that our schools are clean and safe, and every student will have access to a computer and internet as well. Next slide, please. Slide 13. Very well, thank you. The online program, we will also have this available for families with medical, social, emotional, or other concerns. This program that LAUSD will be offering is an independent study program for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. And this will be offered through the City of Angels, an independent study school. So here, students will receive live daily instruction for half of the day and complete the work independently when not learning with the teacher. Specialized programs such as dual language, magnet, IB are not going to be available in this online program. And also, please note that this online program will not be with teachers from the current school. This will be from City of Angels. This will be the school location for those students who wish to continue online and doing independent study program. For more information on this online program, you can either contact City of Angels, go on their website, or also go online and select online program and select City of Angels. Thank you very much. And now I will hand it over to Mr. Loera.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. So I've been answering some questions here as people have been typing them in. And so what we want to do is give an opportunity for additional questions and answers to be posted and shared with us. We are here to provide answers, as many as we have to date. I know there was one question here that was identified by Mr. Soberanes to respond to regarding the cadence or the frequency of COVID-19 testing. So let me give it over to Mr. Soberanes to respond live to that question.
Thank you, Mr. Lloyd. I was trying to type an answer, a response to the question, but something's going on with my computer. Now, the goal is always to test on a weekly basis, but right now we are testing within every 14 days. That doesn't count weekdays. So we're basically talking about school days, 1 to 14 days. But the goal is going to be to test on a weekly schedule. But right now, again, we are operating on a 1 to 4 testing one time, at least anytime between 1 and 14 days.
Thank you, Mr. Soberanes. And
Thank you.
In case you joined us late and didn't hear our main information that we're sharing is, I just want to repeat the main point, is that when LA Unified School District returns in the fall, which is in August, we will return back to regular in-person instruction. We are no longer going to be doing the virtual setup like we have right now, where there's a choice between in-person and virtual. I do want to say, though, that we will have a online option for students that really still prefer to do that, but it's going to be much more limited and very different than it is right now. And that's going to be through the City of Angels, and that was the point that Ms. Gonzalez brought up. The COVID-19 testing will continue, as Mr. Soberanes mentioned. All the social distancing requirements will continue. We will continue to have the additional safety measures that we reviewed with you already. If you joined us a little late, this session is being recorded, and it will be shared with everyone at the conclusion of the meeting. This session is live on Facebook. If you want to join us on our Facebook page, you'll be able to see it there as well. So wherever it's most convenient for you, that's where you'll be able to kind of see that information again. If you're joining us in Spanish, on Facebook, we only will have the English version, so we will post the Spanish version on YouTube through closed captioning, and we'll put the website links up there in a moment. So I'm going to give it to Ms. Fraga for a moment to see if you can moderate some of the pending questions that still sit.
Yes, we do have some questions in the Q&A. Our first question is, when students go back to school, do they need the daily health pass to enter school?
May I take that one, Mr. Loera?
Please.
Yes. The answer to your question is yes. They will need at minimum a daily screening. If you, as mentioned earlier, oh, here, let me open it. Okay. Sorry about that. The answer to your question is, when they go back to school, do they need a daily health pass to enter school? The goal is always to self-monitor before coming to school, at home, and answering. If you get a daily pass, you go on your device and you answer some health screening questions, and that would give you, if you're okay, they'll give you a QR code which allows you to enter the campus. However, in the absence of a daily pass, at the entrance of every building in our district, including all schools, there will be daily question screenings. So if you didn't get a daily pass, you will have to answer the questions before entering, and a temperature check will be conducted to make sure everyone who is entering the campus is healthy on a daily basis, and we're able to focus on teaching and learning without having any interruptions that are related to health and safety.
Thank you. Our next question is, until when will schools be offering COVID exams during the summer?
Here, I'll take that question as well. There's actually some flyers that were just issued today. I'm gonna be sending them out to all the schools and ask that they forward them to you all. so that you know that we have an ongoing schedule of COVID-19 testing. But COVID-19 testing will be available at 12 sites throughout our local district. In our local district, our stationary sites are Gates Middle School and El Sereno Middle School.
Thank you. Our next question is, what will students' instructional hours be next year?
So I can answer that. So students' instructional hours will be like they were before COVID testing took place. So schools are submitting their bell schedules as we speak for how they will operate for next year. In our community of schools, everything will basically continue as it was before COVID. In some places, in other communities of schools, some schools are changing their schedules around to be able to take advantage of some incentives being provided for schools. Most of our schools are already on the secondaries that are already on a form of a block schedule as it is already. And so all those minutes are basically going to continue the way they were before COVID. The other question there about whether teachers will work an extra 15 or 30 minutes extra. As of right now, we have not been notified of any such additional work time, so it'll most likely be just the way it was before COVID also started. But if anything else changes as relates to negotiations with that, then we'll let you all know as we become aware of it.
Our next question is, what accommodations will be available for students with special needs who may have difficulty testing next year?
If there are any particular circumstances that for your child that may have special needs, it's important to bring that to the attention of at the elementary school level, for example, or at any school, to be honest, to bring it to the attention of the administrator in charge of special education, so that they can work directly with you to ensure that there are accommodations for your given child or student. But we are here to ensure that we work with you primarily, that you feel supported, but that everybody who is attending our schools are safe and healthy at all times.
Okay. And our final question is, will we need to get the COVID-19 vaccine when we go back? And so my understanding is that might be one of our faculty members.
Okay. Well, first of all, we're not in any position to mandate COVID-19 vaccinations. We are making them available, and so that we encourage our communities to get vaccinated to ensure that we're all healthy and safe at all times. So right now, there's no talks about mandating any COVID vaccine. However, in order to be present or to enter any LAUSD building, you have to demonstrate through either a daily pass or the daily screenings that you do not possess any COVID-19 related symptoms. And if you are present, then on a regular basis, then it is mandated that everybody participate in weekly COVID-19 testing.
And just to add to Mr. Soberanes' statement there regarding the COVID-19 vaccine. So like Mr. Soberanes mentioned, the school district is not requiring either staff or students to be vaccinated for return to campus. However, I would invite, if you're joining us today or viewing this video afterwards, to take a look at our previous videos that we posted with our own LAUSD Dr. Malhotra on the benefits of being vaccinated. We want everybody to be fully educated on how the vaccine works, the benefits of being vaccinated, so that if anybody is feeling like they're not sure whether or not they want to take the vaccine, so that you become fully informed about how the benefits of the vaccine as well. So that video is available on our Huntington Park Facebook page. So it's facebook.com/Huntington Park COS. You can scroll down and you'll find the video there from Dr. Malhotra. And so let me go back to Ms. Fraga to see if we have any other unanswered questions.
Yes. what extra instructional support will be given to our scholars?
Thank you so much. The school district, thanks to the support of the federal and state governments, is receiving additional allocations of resources, money basically, which are pretty substantial. These funds are being used to hire additional staff for schools, additional teachers to be exact, in math and English, and as well as instructional coaches, a whole onslaught of supports for instructional program at your school sites. So the students themselves, depending on what grade and program they're at, will receive the either direct or indirect benefit of either having a smaller class size or having those supports that are being directly provided. So like we fully expect that there will be additional tutoring offered on behalf of the school district. We also work with partners that provide free of charge tutoring support for after hours tutoring. And as I mentioned earlier, the Beyond the Bell will be serving all schools all the way till 6 p.m. And that will be an additional support there. So we have a pretty extensive support system for all of our students that we will continue to inform you of and encourage your students to take advantage of those, because we look forward to being able to make that available to all of our students. And I have to say, like, we're really excited, and we're really excited to welcome your students back. Our staff, our teachers have missed your students so much. It's been an incredible time this whole time with students being away and being at home. We've had the opportunity to visit classrooms now, with students being in session. And so we really look forward to having the kids back in our physical buildings so that we can continue to educate them in person. Ms. Fraga, do we have any other questions?
No, there are no more questions in the Q&A.
Very well then. So let me stop our... I think one additional question just popped up. With the additional funding from the state of California, will there be smaller class sizes in high school? And so the short answer to that is yes, in some cases, and that's being worked on by the school district as we speak. LAUSD is basically hiring, is the big headline there because of the funding that's coming in. And so when LAUSD being as large as it is, it takes quite a bit of logistics to get all that taken care of, but that's actively being worked on as we speak. So there will be, the benefits of that will be your students, smaller class sizes, and then of course, depending on the schools and how much room they have to be able to accommodate for all the teachers, it's very much a school by school situation when it comes to that. So thank you very much, everyone. I think that concludes our questions. Just ask our wonderful Iveta Fraga if there are any others.
Sure, there's been a couple questions coming through the question and answer that are asking about how many students per classroom.
So that'll depend on the grade, and it'll depend on the subject area in many cases. So that is very much still being determined in terms of the actual hard number. So we don't have that specific information for you quite yet.
All right, and then there's one more question. How would online school work? Will it stay the same?
Okay, so just want to make sure that I reiterate the point that we are returning to in-person instruction in the fall for the great majority of our students. So we will have, in some cases, in a few cases, we expect that there'll be some students that elect to want to do the City of Angels option that Ms. Nora Gonzalez mentioned earlier. So that means that if a student were to continue in a virtual school, they will no longer be attending the school that they're attending now. They would actually literally be enrolled in a different school called the City of Angels. That's through the independent study program. So students will attend class there online. And it's just a different instructional model than we have now. So that is an option for those that wish to elect it. And so students would be given their individual assignments and be part of the City of Angels school at that point.
All right, we have a question about lunch. What will lunch look like? Will they go to the cafeteria all together?
We don't have any specific information as it relates to if they're going to be going all together, but we're going to do our very, very, very best to ensure that we continue to take guidance from our health experts in the throughout the state and our city, and follow their guidance. Basically, we want to make sure again that everyone remains safe and healthy at all times. But the effort, as it specifically as COVID positive cases are decreasing in our country, we're going to do our very best to ensure that we go back to as normal of an experience for our boys and girls as possible. Of course, continuing to respect social distancing, wearing a mask, and hand hygiene, and so forth. But we will continue to take our guidance from our health experts and make our decision based on that.
All right. And then the last question I see in our Q&A answer had to do with how far in advance will students need to be tested in order before the beginning of the school year?
Can you repeat the question, Ms. Fraga, por favor?
Sure. How far in advance of the school year beginning will students need to be tested?
In terms of how far along, we don't have specific timeline for that just now, but usually it's probably going to be within, within 7 days before of coming back.
Okay.
But the specific timeline for that will be provided as we get closer to our eventual return.
And once that level of detail becomes formalized, we will continue to communicate that out with everyone.
There are no more questions in the Q&A.
All right, so thank you so much, Ms. Fraga. Let me get something else shared on the screen really quickly, or as quickly as I can. Bear with me. So we want to invite you to stay connected with us. I posted on our screen here the webpage for our community of schools, huntingtonparkcos.lausd.net. That's where we regularly post information like what we're sharing today, as well as other information related to COVID testing, vaccinations, and many other details related to our educational programs. If you want to speak to us in person, there's a phone number available there. Ms. Jessica Fernandez Melendez would be happy to entertain your questions. We also have our email there that you can email us at a time that's convenient for you. We invite you to follow us on Twitter at HPCOS1, and of course on Facebook at Huntington Park COS. So whatever works for you, works for us. We're here to support you and your students and families in this process. So with that, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who joined us today. If you watched us on Facebook afterwards, thank you for joining us there. Thank you to our fabulous interpreter from LAUSD to help make all of this information accessible to Spanish-speaking parents as well. So that we're going to go ahead and adjourn and wish everybody a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Take care.